In this video, we're breaking down a live session we did for these really talented dudes called Koruja Blue. So let's dive right in. So first, let's get camera out of the way. We shot using 3 cameras with 3 different lenses. So we had the Blackmagic Pocket 4K with the Lomo Spherical 18mm, then the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Gen 2 with the Super Takumar 24mm, and then we also had a Sony a7S III with a Peleng 8mm fisheye lens. In terms of lighting, we had 2 Aperture 600Xs, one 600C, an Amaran f22C, an Amaran 150C, and then 4 Power 64 lights. So in this live session, we shot 4 different songs, with each of them having its own look. So let's start with the first one.
Summer came around, life threw you upside down, like a...
In the beginning of the song, everything is dark except for the 2 lamps in the background, as well as one Power 64 light. And these 3 lights are controlled with dimmers so we can control the exposure. And then the 150C kicks in, and we have the spotlight mount SE attached to that, so we get this really hard, crispy side light. We're on the shadow side, so we get a lot of depth, and this looks really nice. Then on a different point during the song, we turn on the 600C and the f22C.
All these changes, I don't like dealing with all these strangers.
The 600C is just bouncing off the ceiling from camera left. And we have the f22C camera right, just giving some backlight to our bass player. And in order to cue all of these lights in at the right time of the song, we're using the Link app by Aperture, which is super handy. And the way we rigged up this Power 64 light is by using this clamp. It's called an F clamp. It's a carpenter's clamp, essentially. But there's also like a proper filmmaking version of this, which is called a C clamp. But our rental house didn't have C clamps, so we went with the F clamps. And then we attached a Mayfair to the end of that. And then we could attach our Power 64 light. Moving on to the next song, we are starting again with a slow start. We have the 600X out on the balcony on the left side of frame, giving us this beautiful backlight. And when the song really kicks in, we have all of the lights flashing. So we have the f22C, the 150C, and the 600X all flashing. And then just the Power 64 on the drummer is a constant light because obviously it doesn't have any effects. But just having almost all of the lights being Aperture and then controlling that using the Link app just gives you so many options, and you can really easily dial in exactly what you want, turn on the effects on like all of the lights together or on individual lights. Just makes your life really easy. Speaking about making life easier, this new Linkmatch AI feature by Audiio is pretty incredible at saving me time. Basically, you can copy in any link to a song from Spotify or from TikTok, pretty much wherever, even SoundCloud. You can paste it over there and it's going to give you a list of songs and artists that kind of have the same vibe. And it does a pretty good job. It's not perfect, but even if you don't find the exact song you're looking for in that list, it at least helps you get closer to what you're looking for instead of starting to filter out things by mood, by BPM, all the usual stuff we're used to when looking for a song. And you know as well as I do, that takes so much time. So by pasting that link into the Linkmatch AI, you just instantly get like so much closer to the song you're looking for. So that's a pretty incredible feature. And apart from that, they also got stems now, which means you can pick apart any song from the catalog and basically control all the different elements, vocals, drums, bass. You can download all of those as different layers. and then you can mix and match. You can remove stuff, you can even adjust the volumes if you want. So that's a pretty useful feature that not all music licensing platforms have. Using my code, you can get 70% off for the first year on a Pro subscription, which makes it around, which is a pretty amazing deal. So I think the two features together with this price makes this a really attractive deal. So check it out, and thank you Audiio for supporting the channel and sponsoring this video. So for the next one, we have the 600X on its coolest temperature and the Power 64 both together on the left side. Another Power 64 is still on the drummer, like with all the other songs. And the F22C is still in the same place on our bass player, but now it's also on a cooler temperature. So we get this moonlighty kind of feel to the whole scene. It is more of a deep, kind of subdued kind of song. So that was the thinking behind that. Then for the last song, we went with this green vibe. So we have the 600C again bounced to the ceiling. Still got the power light on the drummer. The F22C is also green. And the 600X is on the left side, giving us this backlight. So let's talk a little bit about the color grading. And I'm currently in Berlin, so excuse me for this laptop recording, but I'm away from my camera and gear. So this is gonna do, and hopefully it doesn't sound too bad. But let's jump right in. Okay, so first of all, in terms of color management, I'm working with the DaVinci YRGB color managed. So that basically means that all of the footage I have inside the project is going to be automatically handled by DaVinci and turned into the Rec 709 color space. So just as the starting point, I have the Cineprint 16 by Tom Bolles. This is the film emulation power grade that I find myself using a lot lately. I often combine it with other things as well, as you will see just in a minute. So this is just the Rec 709, and then with Cineprint we get this, which is already looking pretty good. I think I probably made some adjustments here. Yeah, you can see I kind of did some basic adjustments. Made it a bit darker. But yeah, this is just Cineprint. And then there are 4 extra nodes that are not included in that power grade that I added. Let's just see what they all do together. So this is just Cineprint. Then with these nodes, just makes things a little bit more precise, a little bit more harmonic, I guess, in terms of the color. You can see this without these 4 nodes, it's very red and there's not a lot of color separation there. Then with these nodes, everything feels kind of more put together. So let's go over what we have here. There's this look node that they made. So it's just sort of cooling off the highlights and bringing the reds down a little bit. So this was mainly just playing around with the curves. You can see I brought the reds down, and the green and blue channels, I don't think I did too much there, maybe just a little bit. So this is the before, and this is after. And then we have another node with Tetra on it, and I made a video all about this CTL, so you can check it out if you want for a more in-depth look. But let's see. This is before Tetra. This is after. So you can see this was mainly shifting around the hues for the yellows and reds. So this is all just too red. The whole image is too red. And then with Tetra, it's sort of more balanced. So we can open it up. And you can see how I just played with the reds over here. So just shifting around all of the hues until I get something that is more balanced and feels more neutral, I guess. Then we have these 2 nodes, the 500T low and the 500T bass. These 2 are from Juan Melara's Film Unlimited power grade, so I just took that from there. So this is before, this is after. Not a whole lot, but it just makes things a little bit cooler, brings the reds down a little bit, but yeah, not too much on these ones. So this is what I have on the clip level, as well as the denoise that is obviously turned off. now, but that's also pretty important. So all of these nodes, this is before, this is the Rec 709, and this is the graded version, so quite a big difference there. And then just for a last touch, I have some nodes here on the timeline level, so let's kind of see what they do. So this is before, this is after, before, and after. Again, this is pretty subtle, but I just added this film density, DCTL, and that kind of helps just bring the density down, or like actually bring the density up, make things a bit darker, more dense. You can see it especially with the reds. So this is the film density, DCTL, and then the rest, just a little bit of film blur and some grain just for this added texture to finish things off. So that's essentially how I color graded this. And then the other songs pretty much have the same nodes, but obviously had to do some tweaking on these because they have a different color and different lighting, but I used the same sort of node tree pretty much. So this is the breakdown of the live session. I hope you learned something from this. Hope you enjoyed watching it. I opened a free Telegram group chat where I try to share behind the scenes as well as random stuff that inspires me, tutorials or like interesting techniques that I'm finding online, and just trying to build a little community over there. So if you want to check that out, it's completely free. There's a link down in the description. But thank you for watching this video, and I'm going to see all of you in the next one.